You're looking at the magical Alejos Rocks this Friday morning. Red Rooster 3 has arrived, and Scott Buchert already has a nice wahoo on board. Congratulations, Scott. The Red Rooster 3 is enjoying some excellent yellowfin tuna fishing right now down on the ridge, several hundred miles down the Baja coast. Scott Buchert shot this video and said the action has been nonstop. Excellent fishing on the Red Rooster 3. Thanks for the great video, Scott. Good morning, everybody. Phil Friedman here, November the 2nd in the morning, and there's very good signal out of San Diego as you're watching footage from our 5-day trip on board the Independence. The Aztec is on the first of a 3-day trip. They've already limited out on bluefin tuna here today, and the fish are beautiful, 40 to 50 pounders down south. There's some boats on yellowfin tuna. It seems like we're getting away from this full moon funk. The bite has been very, very slow due, we think, to the full moon. We've moved away from it. We're getting more and positive signals here today. Bluefin on the bite. Several other boats are in on it. We'll keep you informed. Looking great for our day-and-a-half trip on the Horizon departing Friday night. The Constitution is based out of San Diego at H&M Landing in beautiful San Diego, California, USA. They are currently fishing down in Bahia Magdalena, down the Baja California coast in Mexico. You can see the frenzied action on Dorado. These flatheads are wide open, and this is truly a spectacle of nature. Great fishing on the Constitution in Mag Bay. Hey, good Friday morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. We are sandwiched between Seal Beach and Huntington Beach, and it is another glorious fall morning here in Southern California. And not to mention that there's some awfully good fishing starting to take place right now. Tonight, I'll see so many of you on board the Horizon out of H&M Landing in San Diego. Can't wait for that day-and-a-half adventure. By the way, everybody, Greg Bates from Friedman Adventures is going to provide a meal for you upon departure. So if you run a little bit late, you don't have to stop and grab something to eat. Greg will be there to provide a meal and some snacks for you here this evening as we depart at 7 p.m. on board the Horizon. That's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a lot of fun because last night on the Danny Cadota show, and I hope you watched Danny. What another masterpiece Danny put on. You can go back and watch the archive show right now, but many of you participated in the live show asking Danny questions. But last night, we broke the news that the Pride out of 22nd Street Landing had limits of bluefin tuna, and there were several other boats that got in on the BFT. We'll have that in just a moment for you. Also, south of the border, evidence of yellowfin tuna. Yeah, that's back in the picture. We'll have some long-range information for you as several boats are doing really well, both at Alejos Rocks and on the ridge. And also, we'll cover the local bite and let you know how it's going with some really good surf fishing taking place in these waters. And man, as I look out there right now, it is absolutely perfect. You know what time it is, everybody. Good morning to you. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. What a lovely Friday morning it is. Man, I can't wait for this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've got a good feeling about our Horizon trip, and I know several other boats will be going this weekend. Things are on the upswing. It's looking good. If you don't mind, hit that like button. We deeply appreciate it when you do that. Subscribe to Friedman Adventures. Tick the bell, and you'll be notified every time we put up new content. And I'll be putting up content throughout the day on Saturday. Hopefully, I'll be able to get a connection and get that into you. In the lead into today's show, you saw some of those updates that we do during the day. We do it in video form so that you are informed and you can look and see the exact size of the fish that we are talking about, as well as some great tackle tips and so much more. So make sure you are ticking that bell. You'll be notified when I put up a short or anything else. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Deeply appreciate all that. 4 million strong on YouTube alone. That's how many views we've had. And also 10 million views if you count all our social media. It is so great to be with you all, and thank you for everything you have done for us. All right, don't forget Tackle Days. They're going to have a whole bunch of booths set up. It's in conjunction with Let's Talk Hookup. Pete Gray down at the landing. That is Saturday morning. Fisherman's Landing, Point Loma, H&M. I believe everybody's involved in it, but you'll figure it out once you get down there. A lot of great deals and, camaraderie. You get to see all your fellow fishermen down there. We, however, are going to be out putting the wood to some bluefin tuna. At least that's what we are hoping. Don't forget our Christmas party is coming up. It's right on the horizon, December the 2nd. If you'd like to volunteer to help us with the Christmas party, we'd love to have your help. If you'd just like to attend, if you're a Patreon member, you go free, bring a guest or two, free, get a great meal, raffles, and so much more. December the 2nd. And also, if you want to attend, it's only $15, and it all goes to help our Mexico efforts because we've got tons of clothing and tons of goods, medical supplies, and so much more that we'll be sending down to Mexico before Christmas. And we do that with all of your help. You are the real stars and heroes in that because it's you who donate. It's you who give us funds to ship all that goods to Mexico. And I can't thank you enough for that. Also, one more thing. If you'd like to take me along on your charter next year, on your private boat, to videotape, to take photos, to bring raffle prizes, to host your event, make sure you lock your date down really, really soon. I put up a post on that the other day and locked down 4 dates already. So if you want me to come along and host your trip and videotape your trip and create memories for a lifetime, I would love to do just that. All right, let's get into it. We'll start with long range. Scott Buchert is on board the Red Rooster 3, and they are headed to Alejos Rocks after a very successful day at the Ridge on yellowfin tuna in the 25 to 40-pound class, some bigger than that. Also, really excellent fishing on the YFT. Several boats are down there right now. The Red Rooster 3, the Royal Polaris, and the Polaris Supreme. Now, the Supreme worked their way down to the Stones, down to Alejos Rocks, where they were finding some really excellent wahoo fishing. And this morning, that's where the Red Rooster 3 is. So hopefully I'll be able to put up a short here shortly about the wahoo bite on the Red Rooster 3. Scott, get busy. Make sure you send me some video this morning. We'll keep you up to date on that. We move you up a little bit closer to home to Ensenada. And offshore, outside of Ensenada, we're going to have gorgeous weather and warm water out there. We got a lot of 68, 70-degree water in some little spots. And there's yellowfin tuna right outside of Ensenada. You can get in on that. There's a little bit of bluefin tuna. There's kelp patty dorado. It's hit and miss. You don't get them every single time you get offshore. But there's some opportunities there, and you can always bounce back inside, fish the local coastal regions for calico bass, bonito, and copious amounts of colorful and delicious eating rockfish that will provide fish tacos that you will not believe. Really nice little fishing going on down there, and I love the weather that we've been blessed with. Our fall months are when we get our best weather months in Southern California. When I talk weather, by the way, here on this channel, I'm not talking about whether it's raining. I'm not talking about whether it's cold. I'm not talking about whether it's foggy. I'm talking about the ocean and the conditions, whether it's windy and rough. So when I say good weather, I'm only referring to that. We're going to have gorgeous weather for our Horizon trip here this evening. Let's talk offshore fishing in Southern California, tuna fishing, because, man, it's back on again. Will it stay on? Is it a little flash in the pan? I don't think so, but only time will tell. And we're going to be watching this very, very closely for you all. As I said, the Pride had limits of bluefin tuna, and it's nice, great, like 30 to 50-pound fish with some 70s in there, even some 100-pound stuff in there. We get bites during the daytime. We get bites during the nighttime. It's really good. It's a little bit of a run here for LA Orange County-based landings. Definitely want to be on at least a day and a half trip, and that will get you into the zone. There's other zones that are starting to manifest themselves now, and I think this next few days, as it plays out over the weekend, will really show us what we've got going on, because Tanner and Cortez Bank will be accessible. Then we have that 60-mile bank fish. The 43 could get back in the picture. There's some yellowfin tuna south of the border. It's all starting to come together again. Now, what put it down? Remember, we went through a really excruciatingly slow period, and we think it was that big, bright full moon. Where'd you go? Oh, there you are, straight up over my head right now. It's not full anymore, and that's why this fish is back on the bite again. they get into a funk. The tuna, that is, during these full moon periods, and we've seen it over and over and over again this year. So once again, we're out of that. Fish are starting to bite, and it's looking pretty darn good. Pride had limits of bluefin tuna. The Aztec on the first day of their 3-day trip. Limits of bluefin. They're already into the BFT again here this morning. Good fishing. Tribute just missed on limits of bluefin tuna. Right under it. Great fishing for them. Up to a 70-pound fish for them. Now in the daytime, sometimes this fish remains finicky. So you want to have some 25, 30-pound fluoro. Most guys don't want you to fish with anything less than 30, and I'm kind of on that side because of the grade that we're dealing with right now. And certainly if you can get a bite on 40 or even 60, I would prefer that you do that so the fish don't chew through your line, and it just gives you more pulling power. Sometimes you'll have to drop that hook size down to a smaller hook, so I have a variety of hooks, a number 4 circle hook at times, and then bigger, 1/0, if you can get away with it. The San Diego bait right now, if you're running out of there, seems to be on the smaller side. So some of those smaller hooks will indeed do you right. And if you're going to fish jigs, a couple ways to go. The Daiwa Sacanas, those smaller, shinier jigs have been very effective. And you get to throw those on 50 or 60 pound, which gives you the advantage. And they bite those in the daytime. So have some 100, 150 gram jigs like that. And then at night, 300 to 500 gram knife jigs have been the way to go with a 130 pound Spectra. Good 2-speed reel, and also 200-pound leader material. It's essential that you know the depth of your jig. The captain's going to come on the PA. He's going to say, drop. You need to drop immediately. That's number one. The second part of that is you need to know the depth of your lure. If he says 300 feet, you want to get that jig to right there at 300 or down below it and fish that zone, up and down. Drop, up and down. Like if he says 300 feet, I'd be down at 325, something like that. Come up to 250, drop back down again. You don't have to come all the way back up to the surface. It's ridiculous. There's nothing up in the higher water column. He's seen everything there is. Listen to him. Pay attention to your crew. That will really help you get the job done. I'm assuming we're going to get a little bit of night fishing in on our horizon trip based on where the fish are right now, either the first night or the second night, but you never know. Things change in this game. You get that intel right up until the moment that you leave, and then you make a decision on where we're going to fish. I would come prepared for both that daytime and nighttime fishing. Whether we do both or not, I'm not sure, okay? So keep that in mind. There is some really good fishing, it looks like, and we're going to get more coverage out there, more boats out there. That's a good thing, man. When you get more boats out, those guys spread out, talk to each other, and get on the bite. So I like what we are seeing indeed as the Pelican Patrol. I can see them crashing in the water right up the beach here, and that's a sign that there's a lot of fish in the surf. I'll get into that in a moment with you all. All right, on the island situation down there at the Coronado Islands, a few yellowtail down there, a little bit of bass, but mostly rockfish. San Clemente Island, a few bass, mostly rockfish. Catalina Island, not bad. I mean, the freelance was there yesterday, and they had limits of bass, calico bass, and limits of bonito. What the heck is wrong with that? That is some pretty darn good fishing over there. And several other boats were getting in on that kind of fishing. So there's action out there at Catalina Island. The boys are seeing some yellows at Cat, but it has yet to settle and really bite. Mostly bonito bass, whitefish, sheepshead, that kind of a thing. Up there in the Channel Islands, we are seeing superior amounts of rockfish. The Mirage with limits of rockfish. Excellent fishing on board the Stardust out of Santa Barbara, Aloha Spirit. All the guys up there are doing really well. The Endeavor, Tucker McCombs, has some open party trips right now in November and December. You don't get on the Endeavor all that often because he is booked up all the time. Ventura Sport Fishing. Give Sal a call. Good morning, Sal. Give him a call and book on the Endeavor. You will not regret it. Their crew is top-notch. The fishing is spectacular up there. You're going to love it. And with all this squid around, who knows, maybe we'll start to see some early white sea bass start to show up. 805-676-3474. Ventura Sport Fishing. You are going to love it. Hey, by the way, I don't want to leave out my friend John Lopez at Efficient Air Conditioning and Heating. I should say heating and air conditioning. If you have any heating and air conditioning needs, go to Efficient. Their phone number is 626-901-6000. HVAC. I want to thank sponsors of our trips here recently, our charters. I got to start with Blacktail Hooks and my good friends over there. Sky is fantastic. And Izzy, his girlfriend, she is also Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California. We've got a beautiful, gorgeous rod that will be raffling off on our trip tonight. So one of you guys are going to go home with a nice rod. Last time it was Steve Hooten. And Steve, can't wait to see you on this trip also. That's going to be a lot of fun. So we want to thank Big Fish Bait and Tackle. Taddy Lures. Taddy coming through for us all the time. Really great stuff. We can't thank them enough. Daiwa for providing us with some great raffle prizes for the trip tonight. So I want to thank all those guys as they make it possible. 22nd Street Landing, Ventura Harbor Sport Fishing, the Malahini, the Horizon. I know I'm leaving out a few people, but I wanted to thank some of our sponsors here this morning. All right, back to our local situation. And up and down the coast right now, there's a lot of rockfish, mostly for the local guys. Still, you can pick away at a few bass here and there, but good rock fishing on the new Seaforth down there out of San Diego. The Dolphin, same thing up there out of Oceanside. Dana Wharf, they're having some good rock fishing. Same thing for many of the boats out of Davies Locker here in the LA Orange County area. Our good friend Jack Sepulveda fishing with Anglers Chronicles. Check out that big lingcod that our good friend Jack caught. Nice going, Jack. That's a beautiful ling on board the Victory out of Long Beach Sport Fishing. Jack's a great guy, and I'm so happy that he was able to land that beautiful ling. That is a gorgeous fish. Up there in Redondo, Marina del Rey, more rockfish, a little bit of bass. And as I mentioned, up there in the Channel Islands, good rockfish. Island Spirit, our good friend Cody Rogers out of Ventura, will be at it this weekend. Make sure you join him. Another great crew up there. And then up at Burgess in Morro Bay, really excellent fishing going on lings and so much more. Monterey's had great lingcod fishing. Up there at Fort Bragg, California, we continue to see some bluefin tuna up there and some big ones. And then north of there, there's still some albacore wandering around. And I'll tell you what, Danny Cadota on the show last night said, I'm not counting albacore out for the fall bite here. Man, my fingers are crossed. I still have a bet with Scott Buchert on that. Oh, shoot. I shouldn't be reminding him about that. Keep my mouth shut here for a little bit longer. Hey, also in the surf, we've seen some really good fishing, and I see all kinds of bird life here. So it's looking pretty good right now. But Richard Cayo, great guy. Richard, wish you were on the trip tonight. Maybe you are. Who knows? I don't even know. But Richard was out in the surf, and he said he had his best surf fishing day last night. Sundown bite. Really, really excellent. In fact, he fished until the sun set, and you could see the squid boats right there off Huntington Beach, California. So really excellent signal right here in the surf. Richard ended up with 5 yellowfin croaker, 8 barred perch, really good fishing. He's fishing the honey badger baits. He said there was a lack of sand crabs, so he couldn't find any sand crabs, but man, oh man, he had a great surf fishing session down there around Huntington Beach, California. And what is wrong with that? Here in Surfside, California, you can find some YFC also as the Pelican Patrol is headed this way. Will they crash in the water behind us? Who knows? I hope so, as they are right out of Central Casting. Now they're starting to fly in toward the beach, those dirty rats. I wanted them to fly through the frame here. Really, really good surf fishing right now. And if you need some surf fishing baits and you want some surf fishing tackle, all you got to do is go to Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California. A stone's throw from here. I can walk there in 10 minutes. They've got your surf fishing gear. They've got your bluefin tuna gear. They've got all your baits, everything you need right down there at Big Fish Bait and Tackle. Great sponsor of ours, providing a great rod on tonight's trip that will be raffled off. And I wish you the best of luck on that one. Good surf fishing going on, no question about it. All right, my friends, stay in touch with all the latest right here today. I'll be keeping you up to date with all the very, very latest. Remember to go back, watch the Danny Cadota show. Also, the show I did with my boys where they questioned me about how I got into fishing. Some fist fights in Redondo Beach. You'll hear about that. A guy that had a heart attack when I was running a commercial boat on Tanner Bank. All of that on my kids' show, Bass Bros. And you can see it right here on the Free Minute Adventures YouTube channel also. It was just put up a couple days ago. So check that out. Actually, it was put up yesterday. All right, my friends, have a great one. We'll see you at the Christmas party. Don't forget, December the 2nd. We would love to see you at that one. And remember, if you'd like me to host one of your charters, come out on your private trips, go to Mexico, whatever it is you want me to videotape and shoot photos of, let me know and we'll schedule a date. Thanks, everybody. Have a great Friday and a wonderful weekend. And as always, I hope to see you really, really soon.
This is not a translator. I'm going to let her introduce herself to you.
I'm Desiree.
Oh my god! Holy shit! Yeah, this is good. I'm so happy. Oh my god, Phil, how the hell did you do
Danny
so?
Cadota and I went to Torrance, California to the Sushi Chef Institute to try these fish chips out.
A fish chip.
Really?
It is. That's what he said. I go, wow.
You are going to have to try these. So small
good.
round stingrays can inflict an immense amount of pain. The best thing you can do is to soak the wound in warm water. Do you have a suggestion? Put a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. Fun and productive method to take yellowfin croaker in the Southern California coast is by throwing a small lure. It really works well, and it's lots of fun.
Deception jig, man, and that thing hit the bottom, twitched it once, and it was on. Oh, look at that, man.
The big calico bass come out to play around Puna Banda, Baja California, Norte near Ensenada, fishing with Diego Nuno and Costa Baja Sport Fishing.